I'm coming to you all on my 20th ministerial anniversary. And on this anniversary, I want to address something that is a very delicate subject in the world. Before I begin, I would like to extend my condolences to the George Floyd family. And I also want to extend my condolences to all of the family members who have lost loved ones at the hand of police brutality. I'm going to be coming to you from a place of transparency on today. And if you go to church, or if you have somebody that's a preacher and you're close to, and if they can never talk to you from a place of being transparent, then you might want to reevaluate who you allow to give you guidance. It took me this long to address this subject because I was talking to my sister and I already knew what I wanted to say, but I had to wait because if I had done this video when Mr. Floyd had first been murdered, then this video would have been me just talking from a place of pure rage. So that's why I decided to wait to do this video now. The thought that people don't like people or they hate people because the color of their skin, to me, is absolutely ridiculous. It is the year 2020, and we are still dealing with this issue. I can't even fathom going up to somebody, a Caucasian person, and just slapping them or just putting my knee on their neck because they're white. I can't fathom that. When I saw the video of the officer that had his knee on Mr. Floyd's neck, I saw several things. First of all, your knee bone weighs approximately 2 to 3 pounds. But if you look at the picture of how the officer is positioned on Mr. Floyd's neck, not only does he have his knee on his neck, but he has shifted his body to a certain side where now all of the officer's dead weight, along with his knee bone, is on top of Mr. Floyd's neck. And he is yelling, "I can't breathe." Far too long, America, you have been giving us as a black people, an African American people, mixed signals. On one hand, you want us to work and to help America advance economically, in education, and sweat equity. But on the other hand, America, you don't want us as a race to have the same equal rights, to have an officer not looking at us by the color of our skin, but look at us as human beings. Mr. Floyd was a human being who was yelling, "I can't breathe." Far too long, America, you have been telling us how to breathe. And it has come to a point now where you no longer get to tell us as a race how to breathe, when to breathe, and why we should breathe. I keep hearing the term, "Let's make America great again." Well, I have a question. If America was so great, and if you all could have built America without us, then why was it necessary to go to Africa and steal us as slaves? Why? It's because you all recognized that we as a black race, we can get things done. When we put our minds to something, we won't let anybody stop us. America, you saw our worth. You knew what we were worth. You knew that you could not build America without the African American race. And honestly, we built America on our sweat and our equity. So if America was great, and if you're trying to make America great again, then why would you come to Africa and steal us as slaves? The same thing happened with the children of Israel. The Egyptians recognized their worth. They recognized that Israel was mightier than they were. Now catch this. That is why Pharaoh sent out the decree to kill all the male seeds, because they recognized that Israel was stronger. Israel had God on their side. So they decided to kill all the male children. The same thing is happening in America in the African American race. Our black men are strong. They are intelligent. They want to work. They want to provide for their family. They want the American dream, and they deserve the American dream like anybody else. Yesterday when I was watching the homegoing service for Mr. Floyd, I took several notes from Reverend Al Sharpton. And Reverend Al Sharpton, I want you to know that you are one of my heroes. I pray God's blessing upon your life. I thank you for how every time something happens, you always rise to the occasion. But yesterday when you were in the pulpit, you said we got a bunch of holy punks. And I can't be a holy punk. I cannot sit quietly and not speak up about the injustices there are in America. I can't do that, and I will no longer do that. If I do that, then I do George Floyd and how he died, and how this country and the world has come together to protest and march. Then I do Mr. Floyd. I do the Floyd family. I do all the families who have lost loved ones at the hands of police because of the color of their skin, a disservice. I've been preaching for 20 years, and God has prepared my mouthpiece for this moment. I can no longer sit here and not say anything. I also want to bring up the LGBTQ community in the African American race. We are fighting for equality. I saw a video that was so disturbing to me. And to be honest, I haven't had a good night's sleep since Mr. Floyd was killed, because I just lay there and it is constantly on my mind, it's constantly on my heart. And I'm asking God, God, what do you want me to say? God, where do you want me to go? What do you want me to do in this situation? So I can no longer be silent. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., he was a preacher, but he wasn't silent. And after he went to the pulpit and preached his sermon, he went out there, he put his hand to the plow for the march. He put his life on the line for us to have a better life. So I can no longer be silent. If I stay silent, then I am saying that it is all right for the police to treat African American people or people of any other race the way they want to. And that is not acceptable. That's not acceptable to God, and that's not acceptable to me. I can't have that on my heart. I want to applaud every peaceful protester. I want to applaud all of the young people who are saying enough is enough and we won't take any more. I want to applaud you. I wasn't proud of the looting, but I was proud that you decided to take a stand. Now, the LGBTQ community, I saw a video, and it was a transgender woman, and she was in a gas station, and it was like 10 men around her. And first I was looking at the video, and I was like, oh, there's a whole lot of people in this gas station. And then all of a sudden, like 10 black men just started pounding on this person because she was transgender. And the more I watched, the more I saw that nobody helped. Nobody decided to help. It is not okay for us as a black race to say that we demand equal rights from the white generation. And then we treat our black LGBTQ community like they are nothing. No, that doesn't work, and it doesn't go together. And I have to speak out about it. Because I preach the gospel, or because somebody else preaches the gospel, that does not give me or them the right to condemn or act like, because they like men or they like women, that they're not human beings. It does not give me the right to sit silent and turn my head and not say nothing. No, that is unacceptable. If we are fighting for equality as a race, then we're fighting as equality for a race. Whether you like men, whether you like women, whether you think you were born a man and now you want to be a woman. No. Everybody deserves equal rights, equal justice. Why? Not because we're black, but because we're human. Everybody deserves human rights. Everybody deserves to be treated respectfully. And so on my 20th ministerial anniversary, I am coming to you all saying, do not let Mr. Floyd's death be in vain. On my phone, I changed my wallpaper to George Floyd, because every time I look at my phone, I am accountable to be a change agent in America. I owe George Floyd that much. I owe Trayvon Martin that much. I owe Sandra Bland that much. I owe Aubrey that much. I owe Eric Garner that much. I owe Michael Brown that much. So I can no longer sit quietly. If we're fighting for equality, then we're fighting for equality as a whole. And I, as a preacher, will no longer sit silent. I want us as a race to really look into ourselves. And okay, say if you don't like a person that's a man, but they want to be a woman, it don't give you the right to put your hands on them. It don't give you the right because you're a police officer and you don't like black people. Or you think you are in a place of power and you can use your power to dehumanize people. That doesn't give you the right. We are getting rid of the dead weight. America, no longer will you put your knee on our neck. We will fight for justice and we will fight for equality. I want us all to look within ourselves and see how we can be a change agent to make America better. Not make it great again, but make America better. I hope that you all will take what I've said, evaluate it, and see where you are in that circumstance. My name is Melissa M. Miller, and I approve this message.